What's up? Stephen Johnson Stocks. Green week this month, and I'm really pleased to give you a good insight into how I've started to get some sort of profitability. I'm still right on the month by like $30, but I'm starting to see the consistency of the green weeks coming in, and you'll see the structure in the Excel. It's really interesting, and there's some really good lessons. But I just want to say that there was times where I was losing 400, 500 in a month, and I was like emailing Tim Sykes on the challenge being like, Tim, I'm going to go get taught by someone else because this isn't working. And he was like, just trust me, I promise you it will work out. Just give it more time. And now it's working out, and thank God. And it's also Stocks That Trade Pro being in that course as well. You've just got to give it time. You've got to put the work in. And for me, it's coming good now. And I know a lot of guys who haven't been in the challenge and haven't been in Stocks That Trade Pro, and they are not making money, and they're nowhere near making money. Half of them are paper trading because they're sick of losing and they're still trying to figure shit out. So, and you don't have to be in it forever. Just be in it for 1 year or subscribe for 9 months until you start finding what patterns work for you. But I'm not going to labor on about it. Let's just quickly get some comments. And if you do want to join, there's an affiliate link below. I got like $50. If you don't want to click me affiliate link, just join anyway. I don't care as long as don't click me link. Just join without clicking it. But I want to influence you to better your life. And if you want to do it through me link, I don't care. But let me just quickly get into some comments. Kicks, what I love about you is in your smiling eyes, you see yourself already in success. And yeah, I do. I've always had this vision. And the more you think about it, the more you reaffirm it, and it builds. There's a book on it. I didn't get it from the book. It's just how I've been. Christopher, great video. Don't let women get in the way of you. Live the dream. Great info on Tim G. I need to get in the challenge. Yeah, or just watch every single silver video. There's cheaper ways to do it. Obviously, the challenge is better. But just watch every single silver video. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to learn. Scotty, great positive attitude. Checked out your profit chart and your losses have slowed down. Yeah, I mean, I'm flipping over to green now. It's very good. And I thought, oh my God, if I can just be a green trader, I'll be the happiest person in the world. And it's funny because I've tried so hard. I've tried so hard that I'm just relieved. I'm just relieved. It's fucking crazy. Robert, dude, you keep losing money. And then I'm like, no, I'm not. I've been flat for the last 6 weeks. And he's like, sorry, I was too aggressive. And I love when people switch bias. This whole point is to prove that it's fucking possible. And thank you, Tim Sykes. Thank you, Tim Bowen on Stocks That Trade Pro. You guys have really helped me and make me believe that the world is a good fucking place. So, really super interesting stuff. I am... yeah, $32 down. Very small green week this week. Made more than I'd lost. Chipping away at this. And next week, if I have any kind of okay week, then it'll be a green month because we only have one more trading week left. So it's looking like I could snap this green week, yeah. If I be very disciplined, wait for the perfect setup, cut losses very tight, there's no reason why this month won't be green. I was green at the start of the month. I just got a bit sloppy midway and overconfident. But staying grounded, staying disciplined, learning from mistakes. But the more important thing is I really feel like the way to crack trading is by analyzing one pattern, like the first green day pattern, and then looking at the days when it doesn't work and finding out why it didn't work, and then fine-tuning those little nuances and setting up these little rules like, well, don't buy the first green day after only one red day. Or don't buy a green day that's a doji candle. And I'm doing the same on shorts with stocks that gap up big. You'll see them in the video. And it's basically saying, well, how many gapped up and just failed straight away and ended up red on the day? Well, we can see that about 70% of the ones that I've tracked so far just went red on the day. I might have had a tiny little spike. I mean, we can see 3, 6, 10% spikes, one spike 23%, and 22%. But if you think 70% of them closed red, quite significantly, like 25%, 15%, 7%, what I'm thinking is if you short into a spike between 5 and 10%, then you're increasing your winning percentages of not just winning on 70% of the time, but you're winning on 80 to 90% of the time. And it's only going to be these two occasions where you're gonna be shorting 8 to 10% into the spike. You're gonna have to get out at 12%, cut your losses, lose 1 or 2%. But the other times you're making 10%, 20%, 30%. Because you're getting not just the red day percentage, but you're also getting when it goes from green to red as well. And providing you can be disciplined, this is the key to becoming profitable. Analyzing the data, looking for the nuances on specific patterns, and just playing it to your advantage. I don't know. Alright, guys, I'm going to struggle through this one because I was out with a client last night for advertising, and I was also celebrating a green week for what it is. But I only made a couple of trades this week, both on AVEO, so it gives me more time to kind of talk about some other stuff, if you like. Because overall in the markets, I mean, it's been shaky. It's been shaky. I mean, this is the SPY, and not that we're reaching new lows, but these red days, and when you see that the Nasdaq had a big kind of drop that it's still recovering from, but this could easily be another leg down, and it's across everywhere. So I mean, we've got it on the Dow as well, and it's important to look at. I mean, when was the last time we had 3 red days in a row? I mean, it was back in May when it was 4, but there weren't red days as severe. So it's just interesting, and when you see this kind of price action in the overall market, you also start to see shitty, junky stocks running. That's why we have the likes of DCTH. I can just bring this up in all of its little sympathy plays, and not so much counterparts, but flying from the 5s to the 36s, and it's a great short on the way back down. It's a brilliant short on the way back down, and if you catch it on this day, it's not a bad buy. IDK was another one. I can't remember the name, but anyway, the stock that I was trading was AVEO, and it's not a junky stock. It's actually a 100 million float company. You can see it's details here. 108 million float, despite the small market price. And with AVEO, it was gapped up to 52-week highs, and unprecedented volume, absolute perfect chart pattern that I love to play. And I'm playing it short, because it's gapped up. It's not on amazing news, and normally when a stock's up 50-60%, it comes down. It gaps and craps, like we see on LPCN, like we see on HTGM as well, if we just look back in the past. But the difference is, I mean, especially with HTGM, there's a couple of differences. One of the differences is that HTGM, I mean, let's just go into it. So if we look at HTGM, I mean, and we look at its SEC filings, and this is the main differentiator. And we'll just go back to say the last 10Q, the last quarterly statement. And I'll just load this up, because this is where the 10Q and the SEC filings, where you're going to see that the company's actual balance sheet. Fucking Firefox. And you're going to see it's kind of how much it makes, how much money it's got, because anytime a company's on the stock market, it has to report these figures. Oh, opened it twice. Opened it 3 times. Cancel. What the hell is going on? Evacuate Camden Council. Now this is the British HuffPost. I like this newspaper. Okay, but then when we scroll down, we can see the company's basic balance sheet, and with HTGM, we can see. I mean, let's just have a quick look. It's got 8 mil in assets. It's got. Let's scroll it down a bit more. Liability and stockholder, it owes out like 11 mil. If we scroll down a bit more, how much cash has it got? It's making a loss of 5 mil. And it's also making a net loss of 5 mil. So the company's bleeding money. And that's not, I mean, that's part of the things that I'll think about. But the more important thing is if I just search, I'll bring this in for you, up to, 2 words. We'll see what comes up. Okay, and it's immediately when you search up to, you see Cantor Fitzgerald market offering, and whenever you see a market offering or an at the market offering specifically, generally with this name associated with it as well, Cantor Fitzgerald, the company that's doing it, it's a fucking really bad thing. It means that the company's got no money because we saw that it's bleeding 5 million a year and it's in deficit overall. And it needs to sell shares to the public to raise money. So, and you can see here it can sell the shares at any time to raise up to 20 million, and the lowest share price it can sell it is at 1/100th of a penny, which is insane, to make 20 mil. So whenever it gets news, and we can see that, for example, and it can be any news. So, I mean, if we just go back to 2 months, this was on the 15th of June, so let's see what kind of news it had. It would have had news on the 15th of June, 15th of May, 2nd of June, 5th of June, 14th of June. So 5th of June, here it is. HTG Molecular Diagnostics expands its IVD agreement. So it's just saying it's renewed a contract, it sounds like, with test kits. And this is enough to spike the stock, and then HTGM will sell their shares into this at 450, and they'll take advantage and sell it at the highest price they can. But all of this selling will just drive the price back down. And this is kind of what I was not hoping for with AVEO. I just thought it would get sold into. But the difference between why HTGM and LPCN works is because they both had the at the market offerings in the SEC filings, but AVEO didn't, and it's at 52 weeks highs, and just sometimes it doesn't work. So with this stock, I was literally, we'll go on to 1 minute because it's a little bit better. God, I'm fucking hungover. I hate going out. Okay. So you've got to be careful with these because it's at 52 weeks highs. It can squeeze. And I mean, I was playing off a resistance point of, not quite had this high it did because it's too high, but the 119 level. And we opened steady, and as soon as it looked like it was cracking this base, I mean, I can draw a nice little line if it makes it easier, because I know people like lines sometimes. It had this base all day, and as soon as it cracked the base, it looked very shaky for me. So when it basically cracked here, I was in, and it didn't properly crack, so maybe I was a bit eager, but I was in at 110, and then I was about to stop out at about 117, and then it came down, and I sold some here, and then it broke the trend line, and I was selling in the 105s. I pretty much hit the bottom, which was nice, and I wanted to sell more in the 103s, but I didn't get executed, and then I would have been out profitable. But it squeezed up, and I cut my loss immediately. I was out in the 114s. I took a small loss, but I knew that because it was at 52-week highs, and because it was going to be heavily, well, it's at 52-week highs, so it can run, but it's also up so much that I know a lot of people short these stocks, and I know a lot of people are going to get squeezed. So I cut out here, and when it was making this U shape, it's a very bullish sign. I switched biases and went long, and I was in long in about the 128s, 129s, and I was out in the 134s. A little scalp, it turned it into a profitable trade, and I was actually wanting 135, 136, and when it wasn't hitting it, I just quickly moved my order down and got executed at 134 before it dropped. And that's the funny thing with trading. It's a lot of price action, it's a lot of intuition, it's a lot of seeing situations before, and luckily a bit of experience helped me out here. And this is what made the green week, as small as it is. But I mean, look, I've got 45,000 with IB in terms of like 11,000 account. With the extra margin they give, it's 45,000. I'm ready to size up when I'm more confident, when I'm more consistently having these green months. And this is when you start making serious money. So I just want to say, for the likes of Tim Sykes and Tim Bowen and you guys in the community who've supported me all this time, the crazy Swedish guy, the guy with the hat, the sheriff hat, you know who you are. I just want to say thank you. And whenever I'm lost for words, which is a rarity, and I want to really convey a message with sentiment, I always turn to music. And I just want to spit some verses out. Like Elton John. I wanna say thank you, Tim Sykes and Bowen. I wanna say thank you, and to the community too, for fucking changing my life. Fucking changing my life. And for that, I wanna say thank you. Really thank you. Thank you.